Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to the program this evening. Are we starting in time? Or? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Picked up a coffee yesterday. Hare Krishna. As we said, we'll talk about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his pastimes. Is that okay?
Yes.
Prabhupada said, Gita is high school, Bhagavatam is graduation, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is post-graduation. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is he? Huh? Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana. Radha and Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Narottam Das Thakur says, Patit Pavan Hetu Tavavatara. You have appeared, why? To save the fallen people of Kali Yuga. But here in Washington, what is this county called?
Loudoun County.
Huh?
Loudoun.
Loudoun. I heard in Loudoun County there's no fallen people. They just told me as we were driving, Loudoun County has the highest per capita income in the United States. Is that right?
One of us.
So we should have this county should have the heaviest spiritual tax also. As we were driving it, that's what they told me. It's the highest income. Okay. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to see the fallen people of Kali Yuga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted that the holy name will be chanted in every town and village of the world. And today, using the efforts of Srila Prabhupada and his followers, to do the holy name is being chanted in almost every corner of the globe. Every corner. Last year I gone to a conference on ethics to Shanghai, where I had to present a paper. So after that we went to a city where we had a devotee doctor in Beijing. So the devotee doctor invited me to his office. And what did I see in his office? The whole Srimad Bhagavatam in Chinese. And he told me, when my patients come, I open the Bhagavatam and read to them. And then he took me to another room on the side, where there was a mridanga, karata, and all the paraphernalia we need for kirtan. He said, once a week, with my patients, I have kirtan in this room. And he was doing it openly. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is virtually in every corner of the globe. But sitting here in Washington, you may not be able to experience it. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and none else but the Supreme Lord. So, we were going to read today from the chapter entitled The Lord's Tour of Southern India. How many people here from Southern India? That's all? Okay. This is a place of IT boom. So, yeah, there are more. Maybe the congregation is biased and more. Okay. Lord Chaitanya had just converted a staunch impersonalist, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, to the path of personalism. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a very prominent scholar of his time. And Lord Chaitanya converted him to the path of personalism. So after fulfilling that, Lord Chaitanya wanted to go on a tour of southern India. So he asked his devotees, please bless me and give me permission that I can go on this tour of southern India. And Lord Nityananda said, but we can't let you go alone. How will you go alone? With your two hands you're going to be chanting. We must give you two assistants. But then they settled for one. So Lord Chaitanya, when he was traveling in southern India, people from great distance would come to see him. They would come to hear the chanting of the holy name. And just by seeing Lord Chaitanya sing and dance, the others would also begin to sing and dance. And then when these people would go back to their respective places of residence, others by seeing them chant and dance, would also begin to chant and dance. And believe it or not, 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya had converted the entire South India to the path of Vaishnavism. Unfortunately, today when you go there, you see the opposite. But Lord Chaitanya had converted everyone to the path of personalism. Lord Chaitanya, when he was traveling, he came to the house of a Brahmana called Kurma. Kurma Brahman was a very prominent Brahmin, and he invited Lord Chaitanya to his house. First he washed his feet. He washed his feet and said, I'm so fortunate the Lord has come to my house. And then he fed him prasad. Then the Kurma Brahman spoke to the Lord as follows. Kripa kara Prabhu more yanto masange suitina paridukha vishayatarange. The Brahmana begged Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, kindly show me favor and let me go with you. I can no longer tolerate the waves of misery caused by materialistic life. Want to repeat after me?
Yes.
The Brahmana begged Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
The Brahmana begged Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
My dear Lord,
my dear Lord,
kindly show me favor and let me go with you. I can no longer tolerate the waves of misery caused by material life. This is not uncommon for householders to say, isn't it?
Yes.
Am I right? They say, I'm going to renounce, I'm going to take sannyas. But these are just threatening words. But the Kurma Brahman was more genuine. He said, please take me with you. I can't tolerate the waves of material misery. Then the Lord replied, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, don't speak like that again. Better to remain at home and chant the holy name of Krishna always. Want to repeat? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, don't speak like that. Again. Better to remain at home and chant the holy name of Krishna always. Now this is the purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. It is not advisable in this age of Kali to leave one's family suddenly, for people are not trained as proper Brahmanas and Grihasthas. Therefore Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised the Brahmana not to be too eager to give up family life. It would be better to remain with his family and try to become purified by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly under the direction of a spiritual master. This is the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If this principle is followed by everyone, there is no need of sannyas. Okay, then Lord Chaitanya said, instruct everyone to follow the order of Lord Sri Krishna as they are given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in his land. Repeat after me. Instruct everyone to follow.
Instruct everyone to follow
the orders of Lord Sri Krishna
the orders of Lord Sri Krishna
as they are given
as they are given
in the Bhagavad Gita
in the Bhagavad Gita
and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. And now the purport by Srila Prabhupada. This purport is very powerful. So please hear. This is the sublime mission of the International Society Krishna Consciousness. Many people come and inquire whether they have to give up family life to join the society. But that is not our mission. One can remain comfortably in his residence. We simply request everyone to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. If one is a little literate and can read Bhagavad Gita as it is in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's so much better. So, these slokas are good news, isn't it?
Yes.
Or the bad news?
Good news.
Sometimes when people are joining the Krishna conscious movement, the family members get alarmed. But over here we have black and white proof of what the Shastras say. But Lord Chaitanya gave one important instruction. Two. What were they? Chant Hare Krishna and read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and preach also the glories of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. That is important. If you want to be a grihastha and not a grihamedi, then you have to follow certain spiritual standards. And that is being advocated here, taught to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this chanting of the holy name can be done by anyone. Sometimes we see that people understand the value, but they still hesitate. But Lord Chaitanya said, chant and preach. So this chanting of the holy name is a prime benediction for humanity at large. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed his followers to write volumes of books, but he himself left behind only 8 verses, identified as
ISKCON.
in which he summarizes the entire Vedic philosophy. If you read the Six Shastra carefully, you will see that the entire Vedic text is summarized in these 8 verses. For example, in the very opening sloka of the Six Shastra, Lord Chaitanya says, Cheto Darpan Vajana. One of the benefits of chanting the holy name is, as you chant, it cleanses the heart. Prabhupada used to give a simple example. You may have a mirror with dust on it. Then you can take a clean piece of cloth and clean it. So our hearts are heavily contaminated. Is that right?
Yes.
What are they contaminated with? Lust, anger, greed, envy, hatred. And due to this contamination, we don't surrender to the Lord. We don't take to the path of devotional service. This contamination is our biggest obstacle. Just like A disease can be cured with a medicine. This disease can be cured by the chanting of the holy name. Today, in many parts of the world, where people had never even heard of Hare Krishna, today you see thousands chanting the holy name. And why do they chant? Are they getting some economic incentive? Prabhupada was once giving a lecture in Dallas, and Prabhupada said, the Christians came to India and they converted people on the strength of money. The Muslims came to India, they converted people on the strength of the sword. But I'm an old man. I've come to your country with no money and no sword. But still you're taking to your wife. The Krishna is all attractive. So this holy name is all attractive. Sometimes someone may say, but I don't taste, I don't experience the attractiveness. That's not due to a fault in the mantra, that's due to our fault. So this chanting of the holy name is the most important activity. And as Lord Chaitanya says, Ananda Buddhi Vardhana, by the chanting of the holy name, you will also experience unlimited spiritual bliss. Prahlad Maharaj says in the 7th canto, Nata vidam svarta katena Vishnu. People do not know how real happiness can be found. So, this is the path of real happiness. Materially, you may endeavor get material success. What is material success result in? What does it result in? Depression. Is that right? Depression, anxiety, stress. You may work in a big corporate, and you may be very well dressed up, but you can't hide your stress, tension, depression. All this is there. Why? You do unlimited targets, unrealistic targets, unlimited material desires, etc. In the whole world today, virtually in every corner, people are stressed out. And everyone's fighting with everyone. All right?
Yes.
Today I'd gone to an Indian doctor. So as we were waiting to see him, TV was on. And that was a Democrat station. So we were seeing how they were attacking the Republicans. So that's common in material life. Everyone's attacking everyone. But everyone thinks, I'm right. But actually, the ground reality is that everyone is an illusion. And no one knows the real path. So this chanting of the holy name will give you unlimited happiness also. So Lord Chaitanya instructed Kurma, read the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam and spread their glories also. And in the purport, Prabhupada says, everyone can become a spiritual master. It's not a big thing. Become a spiritual teacher. What do you have to do? Just repeat what you have heard. So reading the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is also a must if you want to make spiritual advancement. Unfortunately, we don't read as much as we should. When we have to prepare for material exams, we are at par with the best. But when it comes to preparing for a spiritual exam, we fall behind. So Lord Chaitanya didn't say, he said, okay, you want to go with me? Don't go with me, stay at home. But chant and read and preach the glories. When Lord Chaitanya left the Kurma Brahman's house, then a devotee called Vasudeva Vipra he had heard that Lord Chaitanya was in town and he was in Kurma Brahman's house. So Vasudeva Vipra rushed to see Lord Chaitanya. But when he was there, he reached there, the Kurma Brahman said, Lord Chaitanya is already gone. So Vasudeva Vipra was so shocked that he didn't get an audience with the Lord that he fainted. So Lord Chaitanya had already proceeded by being the Supreme Lord who is present in everyone's heart as a Super Soul. The Lord Chaitanya recognized, oh, the Kurma Brahman came to see me and he could not see me, so he has fainted. Lord Chaitanya came back. This Kurma Brahman, the Vasudeva Vipra, was suffering from leprosy, extreme leprosy. His whole body was full of boils, and each of these boils was full of pus, and his body would smell so bad that if he was walking on the right side of the road, people would cross over to the left. No one could come anywhere close to him. So Lord Chaitanya, he turned back to meet his devotee Vasudeva Vipra. And when he saw him, he embraced him very warmly. He didn't say, oh, he has an infected body, you do not touch him. And as a result of that embrace, Vasudeva Vipra became a very handsome young man. And then he realized this has become possible by the mercy of Śrīla Gopāla. And then he recited the verses from the 10th canto, which were recited by the Brahman Sudama. You read in the 10th canto the wonderful pastimes of the Lord. Sudama Brahman was a childhood friend of the Lord. He grew up with the Lord. They went to the same school. They had the same teacher. The only difference was Sudama was very poor. He didn't even have, he just had one dhoti. His wife just had one sari. They hardly had anything to eat. Sudama's wife knew that her husband had a rich friend. So she would often say, why are they going to meet your rich friend? And Sudama Brahman would say, how can I go to him? He lives in palaces in Dwarka, and I have a torn dhoti, and my wife has a torn sari. How can I go there? But his wife kept inducing, go and meet your rich friend. So Sudama said, there's some gift that I can take with me. Because normally, when you meet a saintly person, you don't go empty-handed. This is a very strong tradition, even in Russia. No one ever comes to you empty-handed. They always bring something. So Sudama said, I can't go empty-handed. Give me something to take. So she had to borrow some chip rice from the neighbors, and she tied to her husband's dhoti. And Sudama proceeded to Dwarka. When he proceeded to Dwarka, he went to the palace of the Lord. Of course, the Lord had thousands of palaces. And when the Lord saw Sudama, he said, come in! The servants of the palace saw this Brahman. Torn clothes, dirty clothes. They were shocked. The Lord is calling him in? Who is this fortunate soul? And then the Lord and Sudama share their childhood pastimes, how they had served the Guru together. And Sudama later headed home without asking any favors from the Lord. On the way he was just thinking, well, I'm going to tell my wife, I came all the way to Dwarka, met my rich friends, and I didn't ask him for any favors. But the Gita says, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, and Arjuna Tishti. I am seated in everyone's heart. So the Lord is in everyone's heart. He recognizes our desires. That's why when you're passing through a garden, if your nose is not blocked, then you can identify the flavor of the flowers. So this Lord can similarly identify what's in your mind. In any case, there's a saying in English, face is the index of the mind. Through the face you can recognize what's in your mind. Everyone can be a mind reader. Some may be off the target. But generally the face conveys what's in the mind. So Sudama headed home, but when he reached his house, what did he see? A simple hut was transformed into a palace. His wife, who was dressed up in torn clothes, was dressed up in beautiful Banarsi silk sarees, beautifully ornamented. So Sudama then composed a series of prayers in which he glorified the Supreme Lord. So Vasudeva Vipra, when he saw that his ugly body, that was full of smell, was transformed into a healthy man's body, beautiful body, he got a little nervous. He said, oh, now I may not become proud. But generally, if you're very rich, there's a tendency to become proud, am I right?
Yes.
If you're very beautiful, there's a tendency to become proud. You know, Sudama had Vasudeva Vipra had become very beautiful. If you're very educated, you tend to become proud. So, Vasudeva Vipra was worried that I may not become very proud. So he approached Lord Chaitanya and said, now by your mercy, I've become so handsome, but I'm scared that I may not become proud and arrogant. So what should I do? Lord Chaitanya said, chant Hare Krishna and preach the glories of Krishna. Read the Gita and the Bhagavatam and spread the message of Gita and Bhagavatam. In this way, you all will be humble. So this message of Lord Chaitanya gets repeated twice in the same chapter. And this instruction is applicable to all of us. So we should chant and read. Reading is very important, because what does reading do? It educates you. What does educate you mean? It means you increase your knowledge. Just like living, especially in America, whatever your field of profession is, you only try to perfect your skills. If you're in IT, you try to perfect your computer skills. If you're in medical profession, you're always attending medical conferences. What's the latest? Everyone wants to know the latest. So, similarly, on the spiritual path, we should also be anxious to know, what does Krishna want me to do? What does Bhagavad Gita contain? It contains nothing but the words of the Lord. Just like the holy name is not different from the Lord, the message of the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is also not different from the Lord. So we should read it and see how we can apply. And take the instruction, help of a qualified spiritual teacher who can help you. So, make a serious attempt. Lord Chaitanya also emphasized, more to Kurban Vasudeva Vipra. They also preach the message of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So the Lord is very pleased when He sees us preaching. So we should not only read, we should also make the unfortunate people fortunate. So Lord Chaitanya is very merciful. Patit Bhavan Hetu Tabhavata. O Samapadita Prabhu Abhaibhata. So Narottam Thakur says, you have appeared to save the fallen people of Kali Yuga, but there is nobody more fallen than me. Isn't this the opposite of what you think? We normally think, I'm the smartest man. Am I right? I'm God's gift to humanity. Everyone else is God's curse to humanity. But Narottam Thakur said, you appear to save the fallen people of Kali Yuga. And amongst all of them, I am the most fallen. So that should be a mood of humility. Please endeavor, and then you'll succeed. Prabhupada used to say, you take one step towards Krishna, Krishna will take 10 steps towards you. What this means is, you make a little effort to be Krishna conscious, and Krishna will be too happy to push you further. But we have to make that in there. Hare Krishna. I want you to leave some time for questions. Do you have any questions? Yes.
Krishna is sitting in our heart, He knows our heart.
What's that?
Krishna is sitting in our heart as Paramatma. What we desire, what we need, He knows everything. But sometimes in the provoking situations, we ask Him something material. So what should we do in those situations?
You may ask Him what's the material. But the Paramatma before it sanctions what you're asking. You will see what your karma bank balance is. Let's say you desire a fancy house, a fancy car. The Paramatma will see what's your quota of karma. And it says, oh, you can't get a fancy house. You have to get a house in a black area. So the ultimate sanctioning authority is the Lord. As they say in English, man proposes, God disposes. So that God disposes means Paramatma disposes. The ultimate sanctioning authority. But Krishna knows everything. And Krishna does say, people come to me due to 4 factors. Isn't it? What are the 4 factors? One wants money. But you people don't want money, I think. That renunciates. If you're in distress, then the inquisitive and the genuine seeker of knowledge. Krishna says, all of them are punyatma. But all the 4, the best is want to come to the results of knowledge.